Good morning, guys. Welcome back. It's what is it here today? It's actually late, but man, am I tired. I don't know what happened. The editing, it really pushes me back, and then I gotta get up. So I might make I might not post for Monday and Tuesday, and then edit on my rest day. So you get Monday and Tuesday on Thursday and Friday, and then you get Thursday and Friday on Saturday, Sunday. And you know, rinse and repeat. I think that'll be good going forward here because um it's just not freaking my brother was chilling here. It's just not I don't think this is ideal because I gotta run home. It's 9:30. Well, I say run home and it's 9:30. It's actually um fucking what is it? It's actually like 10:20 when I get home. And then because I'm a D1 yapper, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just how it is. Even if I left at 9:30, got home at 10, I ran up to my room, I plugged in my phone and uploaded my clips, and then that would take 20 minutes. So I'd run back downstairs, hit the cardio, and then I would go and eat, and then run back upstairs, put it on put in the editing software. It's probably 10:30 at this point. Edit takes half hour. Then gotta sync all the audio. Then and then export it, which takes a while. And probably then and there it's 11:30. You got to run back downstairs, 30 minutes of cardio. And then run back upstairs and shower, sleep, so it's like 12 again. So 12, like probably 12:30 is the fucking best possible time I could be asleep if I keep editing like this. But if I edit on Wednesday, I come home, it's around 10 o'clock. I do cardio for 30 minutes. It's 10:30. Go upstairs, shower, bed. I think I think I know what needs to happen. But Marcus, we see the title. We got to get into the bread and butter. We have to. Um, yeah, but 237.6 or point 0.5. 237.5. There we go. Fucking we're doing it. I I I'm ecstatic. I wish I could show it, but it is early and you know, kind of a little tired. So, we're going to keep the ball rolling, but fucking holy shit, man, we're almost 235 already. Fucking finally good to make progress, but man, progress is tough. Sometimes the body just does not want to lose the weight, man. Like, holy shit. Like, even at my size, 2,100 calories is like a low deficit. Like, I could probably lose weight at 2,700, but I'm trying to lose it a little faster. So 2,100 was the number to pick. And I immediately just hopped into it. You know, I don't like slowly lowering your calories. I like just fucking going from bulk to cut. This is how I do. So, it's beautiful out. Wish I could enjoy it, but I can only look at it right now. A few other things. But what do we got today? We got shoulders. Now, I said I tweaked the lat last night. Feels okay. So we'll probably sit at 60% and just chill out on there, and then we'll give it hell on laterals and rear delts. Or maybe I might do standing shoulder press. Maybe. If I do standing shoulder press, this is the way I sit down normally. If I do standing shoulder press, right, what are the benefits? I don't really need to fucking heave the weight up. It's kind of right there. I kind of just go, whoop. So, potentially, standing shoulder press to give the lat a break. And I think we're going to do side lateral raises. And then we're going to do rear delts. Now, I don't know if you guys find rear delts the most enjoyable thing in the world or to watch or whatever. So I won't sit on the rear delt machine for like 10 sets. I'll do different variations today. So I'll sit on my machine for at least a good 5. And then, fuck around, find out with a few other things. Like you could sit on a incline bench, kind of just take your arms and do this. I don't know how to explain it. I kind of just watch the people that do the movement, and I could just, mimic them very easily. So I don't have a problem in that department, but some people do. So do that. And then maybe something else. Probably a little chesticles, who knows? But you know what they say about chest, that's for building pecs and cashing checks. And that check was cashed on Tuesday. We don't really need to do any more, but it would be nice. It would be nice. We'll see. What time we get in there. So that's the scoop. This morning. We're gonna keep it a little rather quick since it's already 7 o'clock. But yeah, let's just get into it. And we'll talk about all this other stuff later. All right. So I can get into the workout, shall we? All right. I almost just fucking knocked that over. But we made it to an actual gym. And we're none other than at Millennium Fitness. I mean, come on, you guys know the warm-up area already. I mean, got a little extra drink here. Ran out of pre. Today's been a wash, I'll be honest. I freaking forgot my gym bag. My phone was almost dead. And I ran out of pre. Pretty bad turn of events, I must say. So, picked this up at the old gas station as a little treat. Had to get gas. And by the way, I was out of gas. So, just fucking, it's like the world didn't want me to be here, but, we're here. And that's all that matters, right? So, actually, General Fitness closed. So I came here. Sure as shit, the door wouldn't open, but thankfully, very nice gentleman was exiting the building. I literally arrived as they closed. So, this is what it is. They closed, but whoever's in the gym, can stay until they are finished. So, we ended up getting in. So, we were just chilling here, trying to compose ourselves, try to get some semblance of a workout. Wake up a little bit. It's been a long day, Not too shabby though, but we're here, and we're gonna do some shoulders and shit, and it should be pretty good. I actually, at one point, I thought of just scrapping the workout and just hitting cardio and calling it a day, but that wasn't in the cards this evening. We were getting to the gym one way or another, so we're here in the warm up area. Dude, one thing and one thing only. Dude, they need to oil this. Like, for real. This is like, I think I'm just doing something wrong. That is one of the toughest freaking, things I've ever, had the pleasure of fucking putting up, dude. Like, holy shit. But like I said, so we're hitting shoulders. We tweaked the lat yesterday. It's actually not too bad. We're actually really fucking sore back there, but we're still gonna warm up the lat and warm up the shoulders and just take it slow. Because now we got all the time in the world. So I think we're gonna cool it. I would have done standing shoulder press, but I'll have to take a look around. However, we're gonna actually do back down the seated. I mean, come on, we're at Millennium Fitness. They got fucking like 20-inch wide benches. Like, holy shit. Like, we gotta use it. So, you guys probably, I would highly advise you guys to warm up in and before every workout and shit. Highly recommend, because what the hell, man? All right, this will have to do. I'm gonna hit my head on this. Because it's just good to get everything warm. Because if you go into like a workout, right, and you're cold and you immediately try to lift, man, like, some days are better than others and other days are worse than most, and like, you're just going to be cold, and it's going to be, you're basically, it's almost like you're cooking a meal, and you're cooking a 5-star meal to fucking hurt yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like when your dad cooks once a decade. You know what I'm saying? But that's the equivalent of you actually hurting something. So, like, before every chest day or shoulder day, I always come in, I do my stretches. You can watch this on Squat University. Just type in, like, bandage shoulder warm up, Squat University on YouTube, Instagram, whatever. And they got great shit. They do. So, I do this before every chest day, before every shoulder day, and I cannot complain because, I haven't had any issues yet or since, and, I feel way better. Whether you hear a lot of, like, talk of, like, oh my God, dude, if you stretch out in an elongated position, like full stretch on the tendons or whatever, you'll actually be weaker. Whether that to be the case or not, I don't think that's entirely true. And the reason for that is sometimes, you're not a machine. You need to warm up. Your body needs to get warm. Like, it's cold out. You're gonna be stiff, and it's just gonna, it's just a really good setup to get hurt, and you gotta just take the precautions necessary to not get hurt, right? So I'll sit here and just, do this for a couple minutes, after I'm done, use the bathroom, whatever, sit on the treadmill or do something to get the body warm. And then we'll get into the workout. I usually like to go heavy movement first, but I had some advice the other day because, my boy that I train with, who taught me everything I know right now, I was talking to him about what happened yesterday. He's like, bro, you're like a freaking, well, I tell him like this, I'm like a tractor. He goes, yeah, you're like a tractor in the snow that's been sitting for 20 years, And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I know what you mean. He's like, yeah, but especially for you, for some reason, you take an enormous amount of time to like warm up. I've noticed that heavily. Like, we'll get into a workout and he's like, bro, you're struggling at first. But then after set, even though we keep going, you keep getting better and better. But you can't rep it out as much as me, whatever. And yada, yada, yada. So we're just chatting. I'm like, yeah, I mean, once the blood gets flowing, I'm able to just keep pushing. And, depending on whether you work out with someone else or not, that also depends on how well you do. Like, I actually greatly benefit from working out with someone that's stronger than me, because then it makes me want to push more and more, or just better than me and all that. That was my rhomboid releasing there. So, depending on, like, if you're having like a rough like week, but you love working out with like, your boy or whatever, you got a few gym goers and all that, and you're just having a rough week, you're working out solo, man, just hit them up. Be like, all right, guys, like, let's have a like group gym session, but let's actually like, let's stretch and fucking just have a crazy workout. And if we all stretch together, it won't be as awkward by ourselves, because we'll all be new at it and all this jazz, something like that. And, I think personally that if you are afraid to do something alone, if you bring your friends involved and you do it all together, but if it's like something bad for you, I don't recommend it. But if something good, like learning how to actually prepare yourself for the lift, I highly recommend that, man. Maybe, try it out, see what happens. And this I don't know what it's called, but you just take a band and you do about shoulder width apart or so. The blood's flowing. That's good. Go about shoulder width apart, and you just pull outward, and it warms up the front delts. It's actually one of the main stretches I used to heal a front delt tweak. If you do tweak the front part of the shoulder, my advice to you guys is spam these with like bands or cables. It's like a rotator cuff movement, and do a lot of these. So you basically want to sit here, not too much stress. You want to have decent stress, and you want to just hold it out for about 6 to 8 seconds. We won't say what you guys hoped I'd say, but we'll move on from that. And then you come up here, almost like you're trying to do a chin up, right? You bring the band to your forehead, and you just do the exact same thing. You do that for a couple times, do other things. Now, if you're really advanced and shit, right, you can get into levels like one of these. Now, I get it. Looks a little strange. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's for my older audience. You guys might get what I'm talking about. But this is called an AccuMobility ball. You can, here, let me show you. You can pretty much put it on any flat surface. Like I could even do it on this. You know, this works great. It's made out of rubber. It's hard. Like a lacrosse ball does, you know, like great work, but this shit, you know, don't move. So if you're feeling tight on that connector or in the back, you can do something like this. Like if I'm shoulder pressing and I feel extra tight right here, I'll do these. So I'll put the ball on a flat surface and I'll just lean into it. And I'll put it right in the connector. And you know, what kind of movement to do with the arm is a little strange. I found best to actually mimic the rotator cuff and then almost do like a lat pull through. If you're sitting at that machine and you're pulling through, you know what I'm talking about? And I found great success in that. And then I'll kind of like try to hug the pole and wrap my arm around it. That'll really loosen up the front delt. So I'll do a little demonstration here. So I'll actually do like a couple little things. Like once you get used to this, you'll figure out what you need to do. But usually I use just a pole, but this thing is like a fucking column to a house. Jesus Christ. It's a big ass column. I'll mainly just like kind of feel it around first. Like if my shoulder's tight, I'll sit and do something like this. Actually, I should just do the left one. If my shoulder's tight still on the outside, I'll sit and do these. I don't know the names, especially today. It's been a long day for me. So the names of the stretches I'm not really aware of. But I'll do these for the side. And then you can actually hit the rear. You can hit rear of those, but let's go back to front. So I'll usually feel around, then like I said, I'll do these. Like mine's really tender right now. So this is good that I'm doing this. I need to definitely I need to warm up with the cables more and warm up with this machine. The body's cold because right now it's really late on a weekday. So my body's used to already being working out in the late afternoon, but we're doing it in the late evening, so. And then like I said, once you're comfortable enough and all that, I'll come in and kind of like push myself into the column and do these like pull throughs to really work on that connector. And then once because this puts a lot of stress on the connector as well, like just any tendon. So you still want to get it warm. I'll come in, I'll grab, like I said, just try to push into it. Okay. And like already feeling a lot more movement. I'm fucking tighter than what's more dense than a 2x4. I got no fucking idea, to be honest. So I'm just really tight all around. And I have to work around that. So this is my routine. A lot of you guys have been asking for it, or, you know, maybe not in the comments or whatever. If you guys go to the comments, you're like, oh, this guy gets no comments. Well, a lot of guys from my gym watch me, so they're always asking me like, yo, what do you do with what do you do during your stretch routine? Like, how do you always talk about it, but there isn't really a full in-depth one. And, you know, you're always doing some decent work, so I'm curious on what it is. So this is what you're seeing right now. I probably won't do this for every video, but, you know, you guys are more than welcome to come back. I might just title this Shoulders and Stretch Routine. And then, so you guys are aware of where this video is. So, there's that. But this is the main front delt portion. And, like, chest. Because we'll probably hit a little chest. Probably do a little bit of bench. Like, the bench will probably be another. That's what we'll do first. So we'll do a little bit of bench first to kind of get it warmed up, but it'll be like just a light working set. Really try to just get the stretch, squeeze, get some blood flow in the mid upper section, and then hit a little bit of rear delts, and then we'll be ready for shoulders. I know it's quite the setup, but you know, I don't train shoulders a lot, so whenever I do, I try to actually like make the workout as clean as I possibly can. Yeah, so you know, you may feel a little bit of uncomfortability in here, but being uncomfortable is always good, because that means you're doing something that you can, be, you're doing. If you're uncomfortable in a situation that is going to help you improve in the long run, that's good, because that means you're trying to improve and shit, But the other thing I do, so we do the same thing. You can actually, so you want to go like rear lat. You can lean into it rear lat, or rear delt, rhomboid. We'll get to the rhomboid in a minute. And you can do. You guys can't even see, but I'll just do it here for a minute. Okay. So you can pretty much get behind yourself in the other tedious spot, like sort of rear delt, rear lat, and just stretch that out, because that gets tight. Because sometimes when you're hurting somewhere, like if your back's hurting, your hamstrings could be too tight. It's not something in your back. If your hamstrings are too tight, they're pulling on the lower back, they're creating like an arch, and unwanted stress on the spine, and that's what causes the pain. And if you stretch out your hamstrings, that pain should go away. But this is also like the same thing. So like if you have shoulder pain, chances are your lat's too tight. If you're having front delt pain, your chest is too tight, because it's pulling you forward. And if you don't have if your chest is stronger than your back won't be able to just, pull you back. It's all like, if you have a really bad muscle imbalance in the chest, if your chest is much stronger than your back, you're just going to look like this, because you're so tight and stiff. So you basically want to make everything even. That's the whole reason why I started training shoulders. I never trained them. And I started to see that they became lacking. Rear delts also help with bench, and just shoulders really improve the physique all around. So depending on what your goals are, maybe take that into account. But that's what I do for the rear. And to be honest, you could put this anywhere. Like you could sit here in the low back, kind of just lean into it and just do whatever, like move your leg and shit. I personally never do it, because I have other routines that help with the lower back, like Nordic fallouts. Not Nordic fallouts, those are knees. What is it? I haven't even done it in so long. Don't worry, we'll be doing it tomorrow, so you'll see. But like there's always something to do, or there's always some sort of way you can fix your body, unless it's not structural. Like if it's structural, meaning like bones and joints and shit. Like if you break a bone, like no amount of stretching in the world is going to heal that. Or, it may reduce the pain, but chances are you're going to have a cast, and you're not going to want to be able to do that. So it is what it is. But, if you hurt a joint, right? Like, for example, if you have like tennis elbow, right? Your elbow's hurting really bad. You can do a fancy dancy little stretch. There's a nerve right here on the inside of your elbow. It's a nerve right here. If it gets overinflamed or overused, it can tend to put unwanted pressure here. So if you're squatting or anything like that, you'll feel pain. So if you got to find it. Once you find it, if you squeeze it, your hand should kind of almost go limp and your arm go numb. And if you can move, you should, once you get there, you press in really hard, and you kind of just, move your hand around. And that'll, over time, that'll slowly reduce that. And then there are a few other things and stuff like that. But, so we did the cable, we did the bands.
We did the AccuMobility ball. You can, like, to get ready for your, your workout, right? If you are like serious about this, like serious, most of the injuries I see are caused from a lack of bracing. So you can do drills that cue bracing, but those drills require huge amount of effort. For example, you would just tie a band like here, like so, like to the bottom of this, for example, like something to get to floor level, and you'd pull it out, and then you'd sit underneath it, an arch, but then you'd brace your arch, like you'd brace this, you would brace like 360 into the band and sit like this, and you'd have to move, your opposite ligament, like your opposite, digit, whatever you call these fucking things, limbs, and hold the brace. And you could do drills like that. If you guys are interested, I'll show you. But you could do that to train brace, or you get something like this. This is a breath belt. Highly recommend. If you guys don't know what it is, I definitely would look into it. But you can take a lacrosse ball. My chalk bag exploded. Just throw it in there. So, for example, you can put this on the front and back, but we'll do the front for now, just to show you. Oh, man. Ooh. That is no bueno. My chalk bag really blew up in there. Oh my God. I'll have to fix that. So, just take a little lacrosse ball, and you're going to put it on kind of like a belt. Instead of a belt cranking it too tight, you want to leave it loose. And at first, the lacrosse balls will hurt, most likely. You go harder like steel balls or whatever. But you put on, it almost looks like a back brace. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you could just sit and just like sit against a wall, for example, if you have them in the back, and just cue braces. And once you get good at it, you can brace all the time. Like I'm fully braced right now. Like this will just, make your brain think about the muscle and just fully cue you in to brace it. And then once you get good enough to brace, you can then start to walk around with this or something like that if you're having trouble with all the band work. But usually 9 times out of 10, if you're bracing the right way, you won't get injured and shit. Injury, a lot happens in the midsection from unpolished form. But something I'll show you, I don't really do this often, but the last thing on the list, it's been quite the warm-up here. This is going to look a little strange. So, this is like we're getting into like the craziness of stretching. You just take something light and lay flat on the floor. And you want to sit like this, have your palms facing the air, and you sit completely flat. You're not trying to like posture into it. And all you do is you just lift up with the shoulders. You want to do that for like about 8 reps or so. And then you move out, but you flip. And you have your palms now, facing the ground, as you can see. You do the same thing. And then I forget, I didn't, sorry, it's force a habit, but you then go into like this T-pose position and do the same thing. And that should reduce your shoulder fatigue and pain a lot. It's another thing from Squat University. I forget what it's called, but you don't want to go heavy. Like this is from me doing it for months now. You want to start with like 2.5 or later if you can. You want to do that for about 2 to 8 sets. 2 to 8 sets. 2 sets of 8 each one. And, work on it there. Just work out what you think is hurting you. I freaking forgot to turn off power saving. So I just almost blew through my battery if I didn't realize that. So yeah, that's the stretch routine. I'm gonna do a little bit of more warming up here. And, let's get into this freaking workout. I hope you guys did enjoy the stretch routine. Don't expect it that in depth every time. That's mainly the shoulder part. You can, there's a lot for legs, don't get me wrong, and back. Actually, for some reason, back day is the only day I really don't do anything for warming up. I'll mainly sit on machines. This is how I am. I noticed if I do the stretching on back, it doesn't really do anything for me because I've had the rest day and I'm ready to go. I mean, I'll do a little bit of, I'll do, usually a little bit of this, and then we'll, just go after it. But, I'm gonna sit here for a couple sets and warm up, and I will see you guys on incline chest press. All right, so we're back at the bench that started it all. This time, I know we have the place to ourselves. But I freaking forgot to bring my block. So it's gonna have to be quick combos for the rest of the workout. I really burned my battery on that half-hour intro. But we're gonna sit here and, just try to get some good warm-ups in. If push comes to shove, I don't mind. I'll go sit on a treadmill and charge my phone. It's got the USB-C. Or maybe there's a block floating around here. I can tell you what, there's no plates floating around here. So we'll sit here, do this for a couple sets, and we'll be on the shoulder press. All right, last set. Not the craziest, but like get some chest movement in. Try to get some blood in there. All right, so I think we should go hit main shoulder press. All right, so after much setup. So I brought the wide bench in, and the much wider one, like it gives this one a run for its money. Like even this one's already wide, but it comes out to here on the other one or whatever. The freaking seat keeps moving, and they have a washer that's just blocking the screw from going all the way in. It's a weird ass pin, I'll be honest, for that seat. So we're sitting here now, and after much setup, I think we're fucking ready to go. So let's get this fucking shoulder day started. I'm sure you guys have been antsy. Let's see what goes down. All right, just gonna see how it feels. My plan was going light, but we're actually feeling pretty good. Fingers crossed. Not bad. Not bad. All right, I think it's going to be a good day. So let's do 2 sets of shoulder press. Maybe 3 probably. And we'll go do some front delts or whatever. Maybe some Smith, we'll see. If you guys don't know about Pumpco, by the way, really good shirts. I recommend checking them out. Ooh. Woo. All right. I didn't think it would happen, but it's happening. Let me just... So we're at the 90s, and, we'll just see what goes down. I got a little heavy-footed in a few minutes ago, so kind of set me for a little off, but, we gotta send this shit, you know what I'm saying? All right, let me focus up here. Nope. Oh. Woo. Oh my God. All right. I was actually debating doing the hundreds there, mid-set. No, we'll just stay at these. This is a win. Much better than last week. Actually, last week was probably you seeing me back here, so I gotta turn that off because I can't hear what I'm saying, but Last week I was probably here in the videos. I don't even remember right now. Holy shit. That was heavy. I was so focused on the set. I forgot to announce, try to get like a full squeeze, really good pause, and just sit there. You don't want to go too far because then you're asking for trouble. But that was really good, man. That was really good. And a little quick tip, if you're shoulder pressing, your shoulders hurting, maybe back up the seat a little bit. It's really good to sit against the seat, kind of pretend you're into the shoulder press position, and look into a side mirror and see how your shoulders go up and down. And based off what you see, you basically want to have your shoulders, not like, like this, but kind of like this, you know what I'm saying? So, play around with it. You might see better results that way if you really focus on how your bench sits. You can go straight up and down, but just do that on a Smith, man. It's not worth the injury on a, dumbbell incline. Well, dumbbell high steep incline. So, actually, we'll hit that for another one. Set number 1 on the 80s was a little shallow. I should have pushed it, but I didn't know if I had the gas for the 90s. I mean, I was debating on going to the 90s, so I was trying to really save the first working set for the 90s. So that's why I cut the 80s short, because I decided just go to the 90s. But you really gotta also watch what you do on the cut, because you're prone to injury way more. So pretty much what that means is, like, if you're deep into like a cut, let's say you're 12 weeks into a cut or longer, like, bro, you got to do a couple light weeks. So the light weeks will come. We'll sit with probably a quarter of the, 50s or whatever, and do it for like 17 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we'll probably end up doing that soon, but we still got enough fat on our system to really just keep giving it hell. So as long as we rest up and, sleep good, that's all that matters. But, yeah, good ass fucking set. Let's get ready for another one. All right, boys, we're gonna fucking risk it for the biscuit, baby. Sometimes, in order to do something, if you're afraid to do it, it's exactly when you do it. If you respect the weight and believe you can do it, just give it a try, man. But, that set felt really good, so it's time to make greatness here. I've never shoulder pressed the hundreds. This is mainly probably just for show, but, let's see if we can get something good out of them. You don't need to go this heavy, but, we want to. So I think we could do it. And, I'm freaking shaking with anticipation. So let's just, let's shut the hell up. Let's hit this. Nope. Holy shit. Nope. Oh my God. Whoo, that was scary. That was fucking scary, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit, we did it. We did it. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Sorry, guys. I've been wanting that for a while now. We're deep into this cut too. That shouldn't have happened. This whole week, I've probably averaged like 5 hours of sleep. There is, for some reason, there is, for some unexplainable reason, I was able to do that. Logically speaking, no way in hell I should do that, or should have done that. So we stopped at like rep 6. So I figured, fuck it, we'll do a drop set, and we'll hit it good. But man, I was done. Holy shit. All right. I'm going to take a few minutes here, but I think that's it for shoulder press. Probably shoulder press for a while on the dumbbells. I think next week we will do some Smith. Not that anything's hurting. I'm telling you right now, though, the elbows did take a beating, so elbows and shoulders. So I'm just sit here for a couple minutes, compose myself, and move on to the flies. I think we're going to do a machine, give the shoulders a really good break, or go to rear delts first. We'll see. Whew. That shoulder press really took a lot out of me. But, we're back at it. So I think I was looking around. I ended up finding this machine, and it works just like flies, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're going to warm up here. But I think this will be a good substitute. So we'll sit here for 4 sets or so. Hit the sides, man. Just check it out here. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Woo. Woo, died out a little early. Let's do one more. All right. So we're going to really just focus on trying to get a good squeeze and pause at the top. See if we get this for 12 again. Okay. Woo. Oh. Okay. Okay. Woo. Woo. All right, that's it for side lateral raises. Let's move on to something else. Oh. Ooh. That's good. That's good. 3 more sets. All right, so I have to do a little bit of posing here. The spot really doesn't do enough of the camera. This actually looks really cool. We're getting some pokage through the shirt. Kind of solid there. Let's check a little bit of the side. Damn. Kind of see some striations there. Hold on. Woo. Check the other side. Ooh, it's actually pretty good, man. Yeah, wow, some crazy shit's going on back there. That's fucking sick. Not bad. Cool, cool, cool. A little quick intermediate pump check. I mean, we're gonna probably stop the checks entirely for like 50 days and then, you know, see what goes down. But pretty fucking good, man. But let's get back to the workout. So we're back here. Freaking, I forgot. This place doesn't really have good rear delt activities. But, oh, this one's a little tight. Okay. But this actually seems to work perfectly. So, you know, we cannot complain. That's for sure. So, like I said, 4 sets or so, maybe a little more. We'll see. And, you know, just fucking hammer them out. I kind of like that because it takes the stress off the elbow. It's all rear delt. So let's just feel up. The lat's a little tender. So the lat does get some involvement, but not too much that it's not worth hitting. But the lat is a little tender. We'll, you know, we'll see what we can do. But just, you know, hit it for 4 more sets. All right. Probably be set 1. We'll see. Maybe not. Who knows? Whew. I think that'll be set one. All right. Okay. Oh, perhaps a little heavier. It's a little hard to stay in there, but you know, 2 more sets, and let's really try to reach failure on that. All right, so we got 2 more, but I said, we wouldn't go up too much. But what am I talking about, dude? What the fuck am I talking about? Throw a little ass into it. Full stack, whatever. No big deal. And just, let's go to failure, for fuck's sake. You know what I'm saying? We did a bunch of clean sets. Now let's get some full body exertion, dirty sets. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. What was I talking about? Okay, hold on. Whew. That's what I'm talking about. Now we're gassed. Whew. Okay. All right. Last fucking set of the night. Let's make it count. Last fucking set. All right. Oh, God. Okay. Woo. Oh. My God. Now we're really starting to feel the fatigue. Okay. Whew. Oh. All right. Let's see if we want to do anything else. All right. So, after a further assessment, I do believe that is going to be the workout. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I mean, that was probably one of the most solid shoulder days I've had in a long time. And I do believe, we could hit some other things, but man, those hundreds really killed me. those really killed me. So I don't want to, I already, like I said, I tweaked my back yesterday. So I don't want to really give it full gas. It's still the first week and all that. Holy shit, what the, wait, holy fuck. This is the first week back. Huh. That was probably why. But what the hell? Okay. That explains it. Maybe. Wow, I did not expect that. I did not expect that. I did go try to do a few other things, but no, it's something in my head is just telling me, listen, fucking you hit more than enough, call it. So I think we're just gonna listen to that and roll with the punches. What was I gonna say? What is it, day 18? Day 18? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's day 18. But day 18, shoulder day, or 19 or whatever. Whatever, shoulder day. We're peak weight. We haven't been this low in a long time. So, we're just going to keep dropping. Like I said, if I shoot down to like 230 within the month and I stay at that for like a week, I'm definitely going to do a refeed week because going from 245 pretty much to, well, I actually hopped on creatine 6 days ago now. I wasn't running creatine at all. So my weight went up. But even still going up, my weight is still down, so I'm probably even lighter right now. And this is the lightest I've been in a long time. But yeah, no complaints there. No complaints. A lot of heavy pressing. I feel like we worked the shoulders really well. Let me get up, man. Let me get up. I feel like the shoulders were worked enough where it got me to the point of sitting down. And just fucking call it. Well, you always treat me well here. I cannot complain. Let's do a little pose in here. Pumpco, you guys' shirts are crazy. Little lap poking through there. I mean, is the rear delt anything to cry about? I mean, we already popped the sleeve before. Yeah, it's poking. It's poking right there. But, whatever. I mean, we'll even it out. Probably be the last pop sleeve for a while. Yeah, it's poking, dude. It's poking back there. That's what builds the 3D shoulders, so we've been working on those. But I'm beat. I'm beat. But yeah, that was shoulder day today. And tomorrow we're hitting arms. So that should be fun. Probably be back at the Homo Modern General Fitness. And we'll be with the big man, so it should be crazy. So good things to come. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the workout. And I'm going to go to fuck to bed. I'm going to be honest. So I'll see you guys next time.